When you start working on project one, you're going to want the ability to manipulate the size or rotation of the fruit that you're working with. Let's see how to do that in Photoshop. If you'll go up to Edit and come down, you will see Free Transform and Transform. Now notice that these are grayed out in my flyout menu here. That's because I don't have a layer selected. So you'll need to go to the Layers panel, and then once you do that, you'll notice that you get a lot more options. You get Free Transform, Puppet Warp, all these guys. They're really, really fun. Go ahead and choose Transform. In here, you've got many different options: scale, rotate, skew, distort, perspective, warp. Let's start with scale. Now, obviously, scale allows you to make something larger or smaller. The trick is, when you're working with raster images, you don't usually want to go up if you want to maintain the realistic look of your image. That's because when you scale something up, not all of the data is there that Photoshop needs to make it look consistently real. You will get something that looks very pixelated. Let me see if I can show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to scale this thing like ridiculously big. My image is starting to break down a little bit. And if I go much larger, there you can really see it. Let's look at that. See all that blurriness? That comes from scaling something up far too big. I'm going to cancel out of that transformation. So even though Photoshop is starting to get good at enlarging something, we try to stay away from that. So start with a large file and go down rather than start with a small file and go up. Now, I'm going to drag let's go back to transform, let's go back to scale. Let's just drag this down just a little bit for fun. Now, go back up to edit. Let's play with some of the other ideas. Come down to transform and let's do rotate. With this one, you'll notice that my cursor has changed. I get a curved arrow when I hover over the outside corners here. If you click and drag, it just allows you to change this direction. And you'll notice that the angle up here is changing as I drag this in different directions. In fact, all of these items will change depending on what I'm doing down here. Let's find another one. Come up to Edit. Go up to Edit, come down to Transform, and let's do Skew. This one, if you click on one of these, you'll see a double arrow that allows you to click and drag on the x-axis, or another one over here that will allow you to drag on the y-axis. Let's explore some of the rotational things. Come up to Edit, come down to Transform, and if you wanted it to rotate 180 degrees without you having to think about it, you could just come here and tell it to rotate 180, and they'll just flip it. Hit Control Z or Command Z to undo that. I want you to notice that you can also do this here under the angle. Type in 180 and it flips right away. Or type in 90 and it flips that direction. I'm going to clear it. That looks good. Final things under Transform are the flip horizontal and flip vertical. Just for fun, let's click on Flip Vertical and it just reverses the image. When you are happy with whatever changes you have made, you need to commit to those changes. You would commit by clicking the check mark. If you're not happy with your changes, you can always cancel the changes by clicking this sign here. I'm going to go ahead and commit to the transform. All right, I hope that was helpful, and I can't wait to see what you come up with in your projects. See you guys in the next movie.